I am so glad that spring is finally here. When the spring flowers start to emerge, it just makes me so happy. I know that the weather is warming up and I can get out in my back garden in no time. Because it can be such a boring time for gardeners from late autumn through to late winter. Other than prepping the soil, cutting back the dead trees and bushes, and the odd bit of weeding or repair work, there's really not much to do. So if you haven't started already, now is a great time to get out in your garden and you can start to condition your soil and prep your soil ready for either your spring bulbs or your early veg crops like carrots, cabbage and peas, etc. It has been so cold recently. Up until late Feb here in the UK, I'm in the northwest. We've had snow, we've had frost, and this is quite unusual really where I live. But now it is starting to warm up, and today we've had really clear sunny skies. It's been absolutely lovely. Me and Lewis have been for a walk in the countryside, and I'm so ready now to get out in the garden and start planting some veg. I've put in some pictures of our bare pear trees and bare apple trees. It is quite a sad sight to behold, as in the summer our garden is an absolutely different place to be. It's flourishing with green, we've got flowers, we've got vegetables and fruit growing. It is just so different. The only life that we seem to have in the garden at the minute is the strawberries in the strawberry box. They look pretty healthy. We just removed all the dead weeds and foliage. There was some herbs growing in there. I have no idea what kind of herbs. Sometimes I do companion planting and then I forget what I've actually put in there, but I'm sure they worked because my strawberries were absolutely fantastic and they didn't get mithered by pests either.
Go.
If the kids are bored, give them something to do. Get together a load of old eggshells, let them crush them up, then bake them in the oven. These are great for keeping the slugs off your cabbages.
Hello there fellow green thumbs. So out in the garden here, just prepping the soil, adding some Grow Show farmyard manure compost and general compost. We have already done this for our beds this year, but this is just to show you guys what we have done. We're keeping it simple. This manure is well rotted and ready to use, and this is our bed for brassicas like cabbage. Chantel has already put onions and leeks in, and this is to confuse the slugs. So we removed all dead weed and foliage in the strawberry bed and added fish blood and bone plus farmyard manure compost. So we had carrots in the large bed last year, so it's a slight crop rotation. The bed to the right has potatoes in. Last year it had turnips and beetroot. Behind in the square bed is a small strawberry plot. We have another strawberry bed behind me, over the other side of the garden, next to the pear and the raspberry bush.
So as you can see, we're trying to make the most of the space in our garden. Along the fence to the right of Lou, there is a large raspberry bush, more strawberries and some celery. In the box where we've got the celery, we had cucumbers the year before, so that's a slight crop rotation again. Our lawn is also looking a little bit sorry for itself. It has got a lot of bald patches. That's because we've laid down some lawn seed and put some new compost on, ready for when the weather warms up to prompt the germination. Hopefully we'll have some luscious grass this year. So the box to the left, there's some celery in there that surprisingly lasted through the winter. This is still going strong, though it has succumbed to some kind of pest similar to carrot fly. I will have to have a look into it. But it is regrown celery from a shop bought grocery, so don't throw your scraps away. Some food can be regrown. Oh, and I've planted some early potatoes in here already, hoping to have a nice early crop. We've also planted out behind these celeries some peas or beans. I actually can't remember which now, because I'm not convinced that the seeds are going to actually grow, or the peas or the beans are going to actually grow, as the seeds are getting a little bit older. So that was just trial and error really. If not, I'll replant something that I'm already sowing in the kitchen. I have got a few things growing on the windowsill because obviously it's so cold outside that everything needs a little bit of a head start. We don't have a greenhouse, so my only choice is to grow it on my windowsill. We had to buy a massive bag of grass seed because our grass was just absolutely churned up due to dogs, children just playing in the garden. I'm still yet to master grass, but I'm hoping that it's going to be a good year. So this is our little veg plot. This will look completely different in summer. It'll be all luscious, all the trees will have grown, the raspberries will be growing, there'll be apples starting to form. This raspberry bed is actually amazing, and the strawberry bed is actually amazing, and then all of the brassicas will start to grow. It'll be fantastic. So you can start to get out your seeds and have a look what can start to be grown between February and March, whether it can be sown outdoors or indoors. Carrots, you can generally get going early March. I've already got some Savoy cabbages growing on the windowsill. I've also put leeks and onions in the bed behind Lewis. Don't forget to check with carrots. You will have early carrots. You'll also have late carrots like Autumn King, for example. So just read the labels. It's pretty self-explanatory, really. Don't put cucumbers out. It's way too early for cucumbers. So as you can see here on my windowsill, I've got lettuce, I've got peppers, I've got cabbages that are growing quite nicely. I've started to grow another celery, and I've got some melons in the propagation box. They've not sprouted up yet. I think they're going to take a while. You can see that it's got the little vent there, which is probably a good thing. It looks a bit sweaty in that box. This hasn't actually got any roots yet, but it probably will take. It looks great, and then that'll join the other ones out in the garden. My cabbage look good. I'm going to harden them all off, and then I'm going to put them out in the box that Lewis was prepping a little bit earlier. I think the peppers are going to take a while. I have also put some compost tea on top of that. Looks like it's starting to go a bit mouldy, so I'm going to have to remove that. But it's okay, obviously, because I've got a little leggy bit of lettuce growing up there, but we'll see how it goes. I'm sure it'll be fine. So thanks for putting up with us. I hope this video might have helped you out a bit. Hope to see you again in the future.
Cheers, guys.
And thanks very much if you've made it this far in our video.